Here's an interesting sort of a political story. It's a break. This is a political show. It's a break from the virus coverage. And it's about Democratic New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She's getting crushed by a portion of the left that widely supported her for a long time, at least until recently. And the reason AOC is getting crushed is she is taking what she sees as a more pragmatic approach to the progressive movement. And it's a really, really interesting story that has divided the online progressive left over the last few days. This all started because there are a whole bunch of primary challenges by progressive Democratic candidates against more centrist Democratic incumbents. AOC hasn't endorsed many of those progressive challengers. She's chosen a couple of sort of easy ones in Texas and Illinois, where the opponents are really conservative Democrats who oppose abortion. But otherwise, AOC has stayed out of a lot of these races. AOC has also had quite a bit of turnover in her staff. A lot of those sort of outspoken young progressive activists that were working for AOC have been replaced with some more moderate, professional, political strategist Democrats that often work with incumbent Democrats. Now, there are questions increasingly about whether AOC campaigned enough for Bernie before Super Tuesday's results that hurt Bernie, and the second Super Tuesday and the third Super Tuesday, and the virus ultimately keeping people at home. And AOC has also publicly shifted from being very antagonistic towards Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Speaker of the House, to being more publicly laudatory and positive towards Nancy Pelosi. And a lot of people have jumped on her for this. AOC has also jumped into criticizing Bernie supporters for online harassment. That's been mostly the purview of centrist Democrats and Biden supporters and sort of DNC folks. But AOC has said, yeah, a lot of that online harassment is not good. She said some of Bernie's allies are too conflict-based. That also rubbed a lot of Bernie supporters the wrong way. AOC also launched a PAC earlier this year, which is not looking to primary centrist Democrats. It's focused on flipping red states to blue. The goal of AOC's PAC is not to find centrist Democrats and replace them. It's to find red seats and turn them blue, replacing Republicans with Democrats. Now, I have to tell you, this makes me see AOC as much more clever and shrewd politically, as a political operative, than I imagined. You guys, many of you, criticize me occasionally for saying, hey, AOC has a lot of the right ideas, but not the right political practicality, not the right political approach. I see that as changing here. Now, there's lots of people that are furious about this. TYT host Cenk Uygur has gone after AOC for this. A bunch of others have. But let's think this through. First of all, almost everyone changes when they get elected. And this is why I always say, don't deify or glorify individual politicians. They are all elected by the system we currently have. And essentially every single one of them, to some degree, it varies, but to some degree, when they become elected officials under that system, they will start to reinforce or defend to some degree, some elements of the system that got them elected once they get into power. That applies to just about everybody. It doesn't mean that they flip and abandon their values. That's not what I'm saying. But that's not the important analysis for me. The important analysis for me is that we just got done talking about Bernie lost not because his ideas are bad, but because a lot of the people around him are toxic, because of his relationship with those in positions of power, because the country just isn't as overtly left as Bernie Sanders. For the last 6 weeks, we've been saying, many of us, the future of the progressive movement is in somebody with Bernie's sensibilities, Bernie's values, many of Bernie's policy goals, but who has a better team around them, fewer toxic people, better branding, none of this democratic socialist stuff. The revolution language is not particularly useful to Bernie. AOC isn't changing her political positions here. Her view on Medicare for all hasn't changed. Her view on the Green New Deal hasn't changed. She's changing her approach, maybe. At least that's what it seems like. This is what we've been talking about, guys. We don't need someone who differs from Bernie on core values. Bernie has the right core values. AOC shares Bernie's core values. Nothing has changed as far as that goes. AOC is doing exactly what Bernie didn't do. AOC is doing something to get around what ultimately led to Bernie getting crushed on Super Tuesday, and then more on Super Tuesday 2 and more on Super Tuesday 3. People keep saying, hey, we need Bernie's ideas with better framing, packaging, and public relations. That's what AOC is leaning towards here. AOC is looking to become a force for change by building these relationships where in the next 6 years, 8 years, she could have a long laundry list of legislative accomplishments. She's working within the system to invoke change. Now, that's an area of disagreement. Bernie has more of an approach of destroying the system, revolution, and then rebuilding it from the ground up. Working within the system has gotten us many important things: gay marriage, Violence Against Women Act, food stamps, Social Security, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, pre-existing conditions coverage, and being on your parents' insurance until age 26, labor laws, birth control. Now, has it been enough? No. No way in hell. Has it also led to bad things? Of course. I mean, look at the Iraq War. The Iraq War is the epitome of working within the system with centrist Democrats. In great part, that got us the Iraq War. But when I see AOC step away from some of the absolutism of Bernie, my feeling is this will help her get things done rather than being able to say, we tried this, but we failed. We didn't actually get to do it. I believe this better positions AOC to actually get things done. To me, this suggests AOC's political instincts are better than I thought. I underestimated her political instincts until I saw this. I'm ready to get crushed, my friends. I'm ready for people to disagree. Tell me all the ways in which I am wrong. But this actually improves my opinion of AOC dramatically. There's a YouTube channel we're partnering with that I would love for you to check out. It's a channel called Upflip. You can get there by clicking the link below. Make sure you subscribe when you're there. Every week, Upflip uploads a new video where you get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at a different small business, everything from real estate firms, coffee shops, auto repair shops. Each business owner shares a ton of really interesting insight about how they built their business, what it's like day to day, how they got to where they are. Fascinating to learn about other people's business strategies, how they found success. It's a great channel for anyone thinking of starting a business, already running one, or just people interested in how different business work. Perfect for people who like TV shows like Shark Tank and that type of thing. Check it out at davidpakman.com/upflip. The link is underneath the video. They are friends of the David Pakman Show. Make sure to subscribe when you're there. Click that bell icon to be notified when they upload new videos.